All right. Hello, everyone. I'm San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and I'm really excited to be here with members of the Board of Supervisors of different communities to talk about the healthy, safe, and vibrant San Francisco bond. Now, just to give you some perspective, these bonds, the way that our city has been very responsible with the capital plan, we go through a process to ensure that our credit rating remains intact. So as we put out bonds, we retire old debt and we're able to take on new debt without raising taxes for San Franciscans. And that's why these have been so popular, but at the same time, they require 2/3 vote. And so in putting this bond together, we wanted to make sure that we are meeting some of the city's most pressing needs. But after COVID, we realized there are a lot more things we need to invest in to ensure that our city is vibrant, that our organizations are supported, that our buildings and infrastructures are intact, and that we are thinking about the future in our economic recovery. So what does this mean in this particular bond? Well, first of all, we should be so happy and excited that Laguna Honda has been completely recertified. But it still needs a lot of work. So we have to take care of Laguna Honda. We have to do a lot of rehabilitation at Zuckerberg General. And we have to make sure that our clinics, including in Chinatown and City Clinic, have the resources and support they need. These are important healthcare assets in our city, and we are so grateful to a number of our Department of Public Health staff and team leads who have been on the front lines doing this work in very challenging conditions. But we haven't stopped there. We have to also continue to focus our work on shelter beds, on housing, and many of the things we've done. Since I've been in office, since 2018, we have increased our shelter capacity by over 60%. We have increased our permanent supportive housing by over 50%. But we know that just because we've done such a significant investment and made significant changes, the work continues. And that's why having support for our families is critical as we start to see family homelessness increase. So part of this bond is to help address issues around family homelessness. The other thing it does is deal with one of the things that people are not very happy about on a regular basis. San Francisco has seen an improvement in our streets and infrastructures, but let me tell you, bikes and cars, running over these potholes and all this stuff, we have to constantly fix our streets, constantly. And so investments in our road and our infrastructure and making our streets safer and more efficient is an important part of this bond as well. But let's be honest, we would not be able to do any of this if we don't focus our time, our attention, and resources on our economic recovery. You know, before the pandemic, we didn't have to work for it. People just came here to visit. There were conventions booked out nonstop. People loved doing business in San Francisco. And times have changed since the pandemic. So we got to work for it. And working for it means we have to make investments in our infrastructure to change. We have to make investments in not only our downtown and what downtown is to people who work there, who shop there, who live there, but we also have to make changes in our destinations and make them more of a vibrant destination in addition to improving our infrastructure, which is why I'm really excited about Harvey Milk Plaza. This coalition of folks who are joining us here today are people who represent a lot of what we need to do in order to move San Francisco in the right direction. We are all on board to get this work done for the city and move us towards real change in the future. It's going to take all of us, and right now the Board of Supervisors Committee will be hearing this bond for the first time, and we are hopeful that all of you that are joining us here today will go and testify and talk about the significance. This, again, is about San Francisco, its economic recovery, its vibrancy, its public health, addressing the challenges San Franciscans want to see most, and moving our city forward towards the future. And I couldn't be more excited and proud that we are all here today, and we seem to have a lot of consensus, but nothing can be taken for granted. We have to get it through the finish line at the Board of Supervisors, we have to get it on the ballot, and we have to get voters to support it. This is a long road between now and November, which is why partnership is so critical to the success of this bond. And at this time, I want to introduce my partner in this effort, the President of the Board of Supervisors, Aaron Peskin.
Thank you, Mayor Breed. This is what consensus looks like. This is what happens when we all work together for the public good and the public interest. And fundamentally, this is a public safety bond, because investing in public health, investing in homelessness is all about public safety. And if you think about what we learned 4 years ago, where San Francisco did a superlative job of combating the coronavirus, of combating COVID-19, this is the lessons that we learned. We have to invest in our public health infrastructure. I want to thank Dr. Colfax. I want to thank all of the members of the Capital Planning Committee who came together and remembered the lessons of COVID. And I want to thank Mayor Breed, who was willing to compromise. And today I'm going to go into that Budget and Appropriations Committee and add $10 million specifically for public health to this bond. And that is the result of working together. It is 132 days until the election. And yes, many of us up here have our differences, but we are all together on this bond. And we have made a promise that this will not raise anybody's property taxes, nor will it raise your rent if you are a tenant. And we pass laws to ensure that were passed unanimously by the Board of Supervisors. But we still need to get to 2/3 of the electorate. That is a big hill to climb. When we put aside our differences, when we have shared commitment and shared enthusiasm, the voters vote as they did for the affordable housing bond in March by well over the 2/3 majority required. We are going to set aside our differences, and we are all going to work together to get this bond passed. The very smart, good people of San Francisco want to invest in public safety. They want to invest in public health. And over the next 132 days, we are going to get that message out. Thank you, Mayor Breed.
Hey, everybody. I'm Supervisor Matt Dorsey, and I want to express my gratitude to Mayor Breed and to President Peskin for forging a consensus bond measure that is going to do some really important things. This is a smart capital investment for our city that will speed San Francisco's comeback in the near term while delivering long-term value for the downtown neighborhoods that President Peskin and I represent. As a District 6 supervisor, I know very much from the businesses and employers I hear from how important it is that we invest in our downtown neighborhoods, as this bond will do, because it is powering our economy and our economic comeback. It is essential. It is a wise, prudent investment for our city vibrancy. And even though, unlike some of the speakers today, my name isn't going to be on a ballot, I can promise you this: I am going to be out there campaigning just as hard as if my name were on a ballot, because what this bond does is that important. Now, I represent District 6, but as the gay supervisor, I am going to assert gay privilege here and also speak for District 8 and the important memorial of Harvey Milk Plaza. There's an important investment there that is incredibly important to the LGBTQ plus community, not just in this city, but actually that is something that's important for the LGBT community nationwide and worldwide. We are a city that elevated a leader that people around the world looked up to, and it's incredibly important what we're doing for Harvey Milk Plaza. That is part of the reason this is so close to my heart and part of the reason that I'll be fighting so hard for it. So over the next 132 days, let's continue to fight for this. Thanks so much, everybody. And next, I have not mentioned the important things that this is going to do for public health, because there's somebody much more qualified than I to address that. So please welcome Dr. Hemel Kanzaria from Zuckerberg General Hospital.
Thank you so much. Hello and good morning. My name is Hemel Kanzaria, and I'm a proud emergency physician at Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital. I'm grateful to be up here with many of our city leaders and a number of my colleagues from the Department of Public Health on this beautiful day on the steps of our beautiful City Hall. I'm proud to work for a city that is committed to accessible and high-quality health care. Our network of clinics and hospitals are truly unparalleled. In fact, each year we serve over 150,000 people in DPH facilities. That's an incredible number. This care includes receiving life-saving emergency services or having your baby delivered at ZSFG. It includes recovering and rehabbing from a hip replacement surgery or living with dementia in a long-term care unit at Laguna Honda Hospital. It includes HIV screening and PrEP prescriptions at City Clinic. And it also includes seeing your primary care doctor to get your back-to-school immunizations, substance use recovery services, or an eye exam at one of our many health centers, like the Chinatown Public Health Center. But our infrastructure is aging, and many of our facilities are over 100 years old. We must fix the aging and deteriorating infrastructure to continue to deliver high-quality care. Moreover, many of the improvements addressed in this bond will help meet basic regulatory requirements. Imagine Laguna Honda without air conditioning on a 100-degree day where we would need to move hundreds of patients. Or San Francisco General losing its Trauma 1 certification because the fire alarms don't work, or there's sewage leaking from old pipes. Or imagine City Clinic, a leader in sexual health services, out of operation because the heating system fails. That actually already happened this past winter. Or imagining visiting your local health center, like the Chinatown Public Health Center, which looks, unfortunately, more and more like a rundown shed than a place that you want to go to feel better and heal. Now, we have an amazing public health delivery system, and I'm truly honored to be part of it. It's really a model for the nation, but critical parts of our system must be addressed for San Franciscans to continue to receive the highest quality care. The bond will renovate and expand services at the Chinatown Public Health Center, the most seismically unsafe clinic in our network. The bond will invest $28 million to acquire a new facility for City Clinic to relocate from a 1930s firehouse. And the bond will support key repairs at ZSFG, adding 65,000 square feet of seismically safe space and doubling our capacity in our psychiatric emergency services unit. For Laguna Honda, the improvements will ensure that we have continued certification at the federal level and meeting our regulatory mandates. Public health has been here before, and thanks to the support of San Franciscans, we have delivered. Using bond funds, we have successfully built or renovated 4 community clinics: Maxine Hall, the Southeast Family Health Center, Castro Mission Health Center, and Maria X. We created welcoming, state-of-the-art facilities so that our community can continue to thrive. I want to thank the leadership of Mayor London Breed, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and all of my DPH colleagues who are committed to making San Francisco a healthier, safer, and more vibrant community for generations to come. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Springfield. I'm the Executive Director of the Friends of Harvey Milk Plaza. On the evening of November 27, 1978, on these very steps, Harry Britt made a promise to the people that had marched to this spot from the intersection of Castro and Market Streets by candlelight. And he told them someday there'll be something special in this city and it will have Harvey Milk's name on it. And so here we are almost 46 years later. We're about this close to seeing that promise fulfilled. At last, the coalition of communities that Harvey loved and fought for has come together and coalesced their support around a vision for lifting up Harvey Milk and the civil rights movement that happened right here in San Francisco. I'm incredibly proud of the commitment made by the Friends of Harvey Milk Plaza to engage the grassroots of the community in the process of developing what we refer to as the memorial at Harvey Milk Plaza, because there is already a Harvey Milk Plaza, but it doesn't represent who Harvey was and what he stood for. It doesn't provide space for the community to gather and continue doing all the hard work that has to continuously be done to ensure LGBTQ civil rights and civil rights for all marginalized communities. It is because of all of this good faith engagement with the community that the project now enjoys broad support from a range of organizations in the neighborhood and in the city. So I commend Mayor Breed for her long-standing support and vision for the Harvey Milk Plaza project and for including funding for this important city project in the Healthy, Safe, and Vibrant San Francisco bond. Also, I'm overjoyed by the reception the project has received as we've met with the offices of each of the supervisors over the past several weeks. Two of the supervisors, Board President Aaron Peskin and Supervisor Safai, actually came out to walk the site and to talk about the improvements to Castro Muni Station and ADA compliance upgrades that will be funded by the bond measure. And it is this investment in these transit and infrastructure improvements that will make possible the installation of all the meaningful commemorative features at Harvey Milk Plaza. So finally, there will be a space that lifts up Harvey's message of hope and action and tells the story of other contributors to LGBTQ civil rights movement. So I look forward to November when the voters in the city of San Francisco will have a chance to support this important project and see that there is finally something special with Harvey Milk's name on it. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I love the San Francisco weather. When I got here, it was freezing, and now it's so beautifully and sunny. My name is Trish Gump. I'm an organizer with Kids Safe San Francisco. I'm also a mom of two teenagers who grew up riding their bikes and taking transit to get to school and to move around the city. The independence this afforded them was vital for their well-being and mental health. So I now volunteer for organizations such as Kids Safe to advocate for safe streets for all children and all people in San Francisco. Everyone should be free to move around the city safely using their transportation mode of choice. I strongly support Mayor Breed's Healthy, Vibrant bond measure that invests in our street infrastructure. Over 1 million people travel around San Francisco every day. Unfortunately, too many people lose their lives or are severely injured on our streets. This bond will improve our roads by prioritizing the safety of people, pedestrians, cyclists, people with mobility challenges, and motorists by investing in safer sidewalks, crosswalks, and streets while also helping reduce driving speeds. Importantly, the Healthy, Vibrant bond aligns with city policies such as Transit First, Vision Zero, Climate Action, and Safe Street initiatives, all of which are focused on reducing traffic crashes, promoting equity, and protecting our city and future generations. Thank you, Mayor Breed and Board of Supervisors for supporting this bond measure. San Franciscans deserve safer streets now. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lauren Ellis, and I am the very proud owner of CK Contemporary, an art gallery located on Powell Street. I moved to San Francisco at the age of 21, and I took my very first job out of college at a gallery on Geary Street. This year, I celebrated 20 years of working in the heart of Union Square, including the last 11 years as a small business owner. In late 2019, I signed a lease to move my gallery from Geary Street to Powell. I made that decision because at that time, Powell was the gold standard. It was the bustling, vibrant heart of our city's economic core and the best place in all of San Francisco for a business like mine to expand and thrive. Unfortunately, in the devastating after effects of COVID-19, we never had the chance to experience that envisioned reality. Instead, I opened my doors in August of 2020 and spent the last 4 years grappling with a very different version of my beloved Powell. One where long-standing businesses around us shuttered, cable cars emptied, and office workers disappeared. At present, we are one of the few businesses that have held on, but the surrounding vacancies have caused foot traffic to plummet, along with sales and our ability to fully support our staff and our incredibly talented artists. And yet, I do see glimmers of hope for a restored Powell all around me. I see it in the beautiful blooms that currently grace our hotels and cable cars, in locals gathering to enjoy Tyler Florence's cafe in the square, in the announcement of the new Nintendo store coming soon, and in the returning sound of international languages being spoken in the square. But there is so much more that I know we can and really need to achieve. This is why I am here today to voice my support to Mayor London Breed's bond measure. Her action plan serves as a much-needed lifeline to ensure Powell Street and all of Union Square once again become vital hubs for tourists and locals alike. I believe very strongly that the mayor's comprehensive strategy to create lively public spaces, invigorate storefronts, and enhance downtown safety will attract more visitors who will support our beautiful neighborhood and provide the bustling atmosphere that small businesses like mine deeply depend on. Programs like the Vacant to Vibrant initiative, along with an increase in security, are crucial for fostering a sense of community and safety and encouraging people to explore and engage with our city's most iconic destinations, whether they live here, work here, or are visiting for the first time. These initiatives are not only about economic recovery, they are also about restoring the soul of our city. Powell Street has always been more than a shopping destination. It is a gateway to Union Square and often provides the very first impression of our city to tourists and business travelers. Revitalizing this area gives us a chance to change the negative narrative that those of us who are there day to day are constantly forced to push back against. I am proud of my city, and it is time to share the very best version of ourselves again. Let's greet our naysayers with a merchant corridor that is safe, flourishing, and filled with local businesses like mine that are synonymous with San Francisco as a cultural hub where people come together to appreciate art, enjoy dining, and connect with one another. I have invested in Powell Street with my time, with my own dollars, and my commitment to what I know in my heart it has the potential to be again. And I am thrilled and thankful that Mayor Breed is committed to doing the same. With her vision and these funds, I am confident we can transform Powell Street back into the thriving, dynamic place I once knew it to be and very much need it to be again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lauren, and thank you to all of our speakers that have joined us here today. I also like to acknowledge some of our various department heads and folks who have been actively engaged in the process with the Capital Planning Committee, and starting with our city administrator. Thank you, Carmen Chu, for all your work. Thank you to Dr. Grant Colfax of the Department of Public Health. Thank you to Shireen McSpadden, the Director of the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing. And thank you to Zuckerberg General CEO, Dr. Susan Ehrlich. And to all of our speakers and all of the folks joining us here today. This is going to take all the different people, the friends groups, the community. There is something in this bond for not just everyone, but this is really about the health and safety and our economic recovery in San Francisco. So we're going to need all hands on deck to get it over the finish line and get the job done. It starts with the Board of Supervisors. So again, I urge many of you who are here today to go up to the committee room, which starts at 10:30, and to give public comment to ensure that your colleagues, Supervisor Dorsey, luckily we got Supervisor Dorsey as well as 7 members total from the Board of Supervisors who are already committed, but I do think it's extremely important that we send this to voters with an 11-0 vote from the Board of Supervisors to demonstrate the strength of what this entails. So thank you all so much for coming here today.